had a swagger, but it was a believable swagger. There was no arrogance or no real arrogance to it. He was just an unbelievable presence, and certainly the hardest man I've ever had to bowl at in county or test match cricket, because you just didn't know where you were going to bowl the ball.
Richards has hit 5 boundaries from 9 balls.
One of the fiercest competitors, really. I think a lot of opponents approach Viv from the wrong way. I think if you made Viv feel comfortable, you had a better chance. But the moment you confronted him, you're on the losing side. A tremendous batsman and, of course, a great competitor.
Rodney Hogg came up, bowled him a bouncer, hit him in his jaw. No helmet. Viv Richards never wore a helmet. Hit him right in the jaw. Rodney Hogg was no slow coach. And Viv just massaged the jaw a bit and this usual exercise of. And then the very next ball, Rodney Hogg thought to himself, well, I'm going to bounce him again. Well, the next ball went for 6. And he went on, I think he got 100 in that inning as well.
In the 1979 World Cup final at Lord's, Richards made 138 not out from 157 balls, the first in a long list of match-winning one-day international knocks.
I umpired, of course, 3 World Cup finals that he played in, and tremendous one-day cricketer, marvellous. He just changed the game completely. Once he got in, he just changed the game. You couldn't bowl at him. Wherever you bowl at him, he murdered you.
I've battled with deciding who the greatest batsman I've seen is, and Viv Richards, Barry Richards, Sachin Tendulkar, Gary Sobers, Graham Pollock, Sunil Gavaskar, these are the guys in the frame. And I've come to the conclusion that it's Viv, because he did it when it mattered so often, it almost defies belief. I mean, his record in cup finals for his country and for his county are staggering. I mean, he turned it on. So that 79 World Cup final, the chance for the West Indies to cement what everybody thought anyway, really, that they were not only the best, becoming the best test team in the world, but the best one-day team as well, was there. It wasn't his most dazzling performance, but it showed the other side to him, that Viv could play when it mattered.
There's no contest with that one. That is a big 6.
Viv Richards, he's probably my favourite cricketer. In a one-day game at the MCG, we had an attack that included Lilly, Thompson, I think Jeff Dimmitt was playing, Rodney Hogg. Pretty formidable pace attack, and Viv made 150 in this one-day innings, and he just bludgeoned it and smashed it and whacked it to all parts of the MCG. And you can imagine in a one-day game, you've basically got the field pretty much spread when he's on strike, and he still managed to hit boundary after boundary after boundary. And at the time, I never thought anyone would bat better than that.
In 1981, Test cricket came to Antigua, Richards' home island. He had married 3 days earlier, a major event for the island. Anything less than a century now would be an anticlimax.
In 1981, Antigua was awarded a test match, the final test of the series against England. And Richards actually got married just before that test, and of course that was a very major event on the island. And then he came out in the test match, and set about scoring a test century there. And he took much longer than he normally would over a test century, but it was as if he set himself that the whole event wouldn't be complete unless he was able to score 100, which he surely did.
By 1985, Richards had taken over from Clive Lloyd as West Indian captain. He would lead the team for 6 years and would never lose a series.
In the dressing room, Viv always was looking for a way to win a cricket match, and always trying to G the guys up. Even after he got out, he would go around the dressing room and say, listen, we have to win this game, try and do this, try and do that, whatever the situation it was. On the cricket field, always coming to the bowlers, having a word with bowlers. He was so competitive. That is why when he took over the captaincy, sometimes people thought he was a bit hard on his players, and he was. But that was because he was so competitive. He always wanted to win, always wanted to make sure the West Indies were winners.
Richards led his team to a 5-0 thrashing of England at home in 1986. He finished the series with a century and 56 balls, the fastest ever Test century, as measured by the number of balls faced.
And he's gone and got that century with a mighty 6 down to mid-wicket. Typical Viv Richards stuff.
The records kept falling. In a one-day international against New Zealand in 1987, Richards became the only player to make a century and take 5 wickets in a one-day international.
And there is 5 wickets for Vivian Richards. What a day it's been for the West Indies captain.
Richards continued in international cricket until 1991 and in county cricket until 1993. He was later knighted, the first Antiguan to receive a knighthood for services to cricket.
When Viv played for the West Indies, Viv just did not believe in losing. He just thought that, you know, he had to do and give everything for the West Indies. And of course he had the skill to produce.
He came in to an outstanding West Indies team under Clive Lloyd, and he had Gordon Greenidge and Desmond Haynes opening the batting in front of him and others around him. But he was the key. He was the hub around which the batting revolved during his career and during that long period when West Indies dominated international cricket.
He was, you know, he was a great inspiration to all, young and old, and he gave 120%, 130%. He just gave his all every time he went out there. I remember him taking it. He had a sort of back problem in Trinidad, and the doctor gave him some cortisone and so on. He could hardly walk, and he went out. He took the injection, went out and bat. And that's how much he loved West Indies cricket, and he loved this game of ours. So, you know, he was just a great ambassador for the sport.
Many great batsmen have seemed like ordinary men until they took guard and began to ply their trade. Richards was different. He had an aura, a swagger that made it clear he was special, even as he sauntered to the crease.
He was the man, and he had that. He was known as Smoking Joe Frazier because of his similarity in build to the former heavyweight boxer, even from a young age when he first came into the team. And that's the kind of dominance that he had. That was the kind of attitude of a heavyweight boxer, that I'm coming to get you. No matter what happens, I don't mind how fast you are, how much you spin the ball, no matter what kind of conditions they are, I'm coming to get you. When he walked out, you had a feeling, a presence was there when Richards went out, and usually he converted.
When Viv arrived at the crease, he looked 6 inches taller than he was. He looked 6 inches wider than he was. He had this strong presence in his face, the Roman nose, the brilliant bones. There was an emperor-like feel about Viv, and still is actually.
Vivian Richards walked to the crease and there was this presence. And if you set him a challenge, if you set a certain field, he would take you on. And that's what made him so special. You would set a certain field and he would still play the shot. And he felt that he was good enough to get it through anyway. Occasionally it brought him undone, but it was that presence that was very, very special.